The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Jumping up, Dolly Vision streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision streaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, head goes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house. I told you guys I would be back tonight. Never listen to my producers, okay? Never listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. Dolly is here in the flesh like I said I would be. I said there's things that I wanted to talk about tonight. Of course, we're going to be talking about the quadruple unaliving that took place in Tennessee. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about the search for Jack and Lilly tonight. I am going to have the phone lines open. But first, I'm going to need you to leave your DNA all over that like button just in case something happens to you in Tennessee. There's always something going on in Tennessee. Or you go missing deep in the woods in Nova Scotia. Or a fifth grade teacher happens to get you. I'm going to need your DNA to come rescue your ass, okay? So definitely hit that like button as you come into the room. Even if you're watching the replay, hit the like button, replay crew. I never say nothing to you guys, but I'm letting you know now, replay crew, hit that like button. Also, sub up if you're brand new. Help us hit 72,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 100K. I can't do it without the help of each and every one of you guys out there watching on YouTube. Help us bring justice to some of these cases, okay? And of course, feel free to share my ugly face on any social media platform you choose, long as it's not Pornhub, okay? Unless, if you do, put me in the ugly category, all right? And if there ain't one, let's start one. We'll start one. Okay, so what do y'all want to start with? Do y'all want to start with the Jack and Lilly stuff, or do y'all want to start with what is going on in Tennessee? Okay, let's start with Tennessee after you guys hit the like button. Okay, I'm going to give y'all a second. We're going to pause, let you hit the like button, just in case you forgot already. Okay, a quadruple unaliving took place in Tennessee from a man named Austin Drumming. Okay, he is an ex-convict that met his girlfriend in the penitentiary, which was a correctional officer. He gets out, they hook up, everything's perfect. They're going on vacations, they're living their best life until he murders his girlfriend's family. Okay. Her sister, her brother, the niece, and even though he killed a young man, 15 years old, he also dropped a 17-month-old baby up the street 20 miles from the location of where he unalived these people, or where these people's bodies were found, on a remote road in Tennessee, not too far from a correctional facility. Now, if this man knows anything, he knows the prisons. Maybe that's why he chose to do this near a prison. Now, there's a lot of speculation and a lot of theories that'll be being thrown out there about this case. So before we go over this, I want to give my warnings. Dolly Vision is for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion, people. Completely satire. The callers tonight, their opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on a Dolly. And everyone is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law, except for this lowlife. Okay. Also, the biggest one of them all is don't never ever try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous. Especially don't try to be Miami Vice Dolly. Okay. This is my whole beach look. I went to the beach but got rained out. Didn't quite make it to the ocean front because I was in my slingshot. And what I didn't realize was I was driving into a storm. Rain hitting me at 50 miles an hour because, you know, the slingshot don't have no top. And it got a little wet. Got a little wet on the ride. So I came back and I'm here with you guys tonight. Okay, I'm here with you guys tonight. So this man is on the run. He's approximately 5'10", brown hair, blue eyes, short goatee, and I'll show you some pictures of him in just a few minutes. But he is alleged to be in an Audi A3 with Tennessee tags. Now, he does have connections to Rhode Island and possibly Florida. So, as of now, we know that Caitlin is Courtney Rose's sister. The news has been reporting on this, but they even reported it wrong. They said that Austin was having relations with Adriana's sister. That's wrong. Sometimes even the media, big mainstream media, gets the case wrong. And it's Caitlin, which is Courtney Rose's sister. Now, she met this man in the penitentiary and brought him home to the family. Now, people online are saying, leave Caitlin alone. She had no clue that this was going to happen. Oh, hell no. You deserve what you get from the internet, woman. You brought a killer into your family. You brought a man that you was sleeping with in the penitentiary at your job into your family that was in there for aggravated assault and kidnapping and is alleged to have killed somebody in the prison. And you brought this man around your family and around your kids, and there's rumors that you're 4 months pregnant with his baby. Insane, insane, insane. Now she's in hiding, deleting her Facebook account because she can't take the pressure from the public for what she has done. This man didn't kill your family for nothing. There's a reason why. And somewhere in this motive, I know it's going to come back to this girl, in my opinion. Like, she had to have had some play in this. If she didn't set this up, she planted that seed in Austin's head that this family was doing something to her, and he's done this on her behalf. Absolutely. I see in the chat room saying this is pure T evil. You are absolutely right. Now, every day that this man is on the run puts everybody in the public at danger. I've heard they upped the reward to $15,000 today. It was $2,500 for the whereabouts of them. And now it's up to $15,000. I think it's almost time for me to put my bounty hunter gear on, call up Leland, and we're going to have to split the money. Okay. And we're going to have to track this dude down. You know, he likes Boston. He's always wearing the Boston Red Sox stuff. So maybe he has ties to Boston. And, you know, Dolly just got back from Boston not too long ago, stayed at the Lizzie Borden house, was hunting ghosts and all that good stuff. So maybe if you live in those areas of Rhode Island, Boston, New Hampshire, those areas, you need to be on the lookout for this Audi A3. It's white. It has a dented front end, a little damage to the front end, and they still haven't, from what I understand, they still haven't found the 1988 Ford pickup truck that was white with a red stripe. Producer is trying to sleep. Okay, I can understand that, but she will be all right. She's in there. I hope I didn't wake her up. If I did, hold on. Okay, I'll be right back with you guys. Hold on. I woke my producer up and she was trying to fix my lighting. I'm not so much worried about the lighting right now. I'm just worried about the message getting out, bringing awareness to this crazy case that is going on in Tennessee, especially when we have so many people dead, you know, especially when it's a whole family and it's just senseless violence. There's no reason for it. He may have changed vehicles by now. Says, I agree there's a possibility he could have changed vehicles. Dolly's in the doghouse. No, I'm fine. She was just talking about my lighting, and she knows I'm loud. She's in the other room and she has the air conditioner on. She shouldn't be able to hear me too bad. So we should be good. So this is absolutely insane. There's a massive manhunt underway for this person. And like I said, the woman that, you know, there's people online defending Caitlin, which I can understand it. She didn't do it, but she may have some play in this. And I think it's too early to be fit to be defending this woman. Okay. Especially seeing she was a correctional officer and was sleeping with a inmate, right? Listen, I don't know how a woman gets this desperate for a man, or how this man was able to charm her while he's sitting there eating oodles and noodles. Like, what could he offer? I believe that he is a drug dealer. Hold on, producer. What's up? I didn't wake you up. Okay. There's something you wanted to add?
Yeah.
What?
He was out on bond.
He was out on bond, says my producer. What was he on bond for?
He was out on bond for the stuff he did while he was locked up.
So he committed crime in prison, which allegedly is unaliving somebody.
Or attempting to unalive him.
Or attempting to unalive him. And then he got out for his time for the aggravated assault, and he was due back in court.
In August, he was out on a $30,000 bond.
In August, he was out on a $30,000 bond. All right, anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Fill us in if you got some stuff I don't got.
I got all the stuff you don't got.
You got all the stuff. Well, you're supposed to give me that stuff.
Well, that's not my fault.
How you think Nancy Grace does it? The producers give her all the stuff and she gets up there and repeats it. That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I know.
Okay, so I had heard that he had hurt somebody in the prison, that he unalived somebody in the prison, or attempted to unalive somebody in prison. My producers are saying he was out on a $30,000 bond. A lot of people believe this dude is never going back to prison, that he is going to pretty much maybe unalive, you know, because he don't want to go back to prison. But what reason would you throw everything away, your second chance? Or he already knew he was going back to prison anyway, and he was like, well, what do I got to lose? And when people don't have nothing to lose, they're very, very dangerous. So I'll be amazed if they find this man alive, right? Because of his charges, he knows he's going to prison for the rest of his life. Does Tennessee have DP? Okay, so Tennessee has DP, and there's no way you're not getting it with 4 murders. Okay, there's just no way. So most likely he would get the DP in Tennessee.
We can't even go fishing no more. One dead and one injured in a custody shooting at Avalon Fishing Pier.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I was looking for what I was
okay. Has anyone heard if any of the victims had a criminal background? Now that I'm not too sure of, but we're not going to do a whole lot of victim blaming right now, okay? Because we don't know.
There's a reward.
There is a reward, $15,000. I knew about that, producer. All right, I keep up with stuff too, all right? So it looks like he knew he was going back to prison, and
he likes it there.
He must like it there, because we looked earlier at his pictures from prison, and he pretty much had everything he needed. He was eating pizzas. He had a flat screen TV. He had Nintendo Switch in the cell with him. He had tablets. He had 3 phones. He had whole things of food. He was living pretty good. Well, I'm sure it ain't great, but he was living okay, considering the fact that he was in prison on such a high profile case as, you know, because he's already been charged with kidnapping before. So, and if he did do what they're accusing him of in prison, and he's just getting ready to go to court for it, he really had nothing to lose. And hopefully, pray to God, he don't hurt anybody else. So, like I said, there's still people out here defending him and defending Caitlin, you know, because nobody wants to take blame for they allowed this man around the family.
And lying for her, saying she's not seeing him.
Yeah, and definitely lying for him. There's people out here saying that she hasn't seen him in years. He only got out of jail last year, right? In August. What was it, August or October? It was October. He got out of prison in October.
It was September.
I thought it was October.
There's a picture of him walking out with his parents coddling him at the entrance exit.
Yeah, and you know, his family has to be like, right now they're probably deleting their social medias and turning their messengers off, because even today I was leaving hateful messages, and I usually don't leave mean stuff on people's pages, but when I've seen certain people defending these people, and you know, Caitlin herself, right? Like, why would you defend this woman? She is partly the cause of this, right? Because she is the one, just because she was a little hoochie and wanted to hook up with some bad boy, she brought this monster around her family, and now look what has happened. Coming in late, but hi everyone. Hello, good to see you. If you're just tuning in, make sure you hit the like button. Dolly's rumor has it family was unalive because Caitlin and her sister were fighting over the mother's estate. Rumor. Well, we heard the same thing. You know, we were taking call-ins today, and multiple callers called in and said maybe it has something to do with the grandmother dying and over money, right? Usually the money is the root of all evil. Usually if you track the money, it will lead you to what caused this. But I believe that this man was selling illegal substances. That's how he was affording the lifestyle that he had, because we know Caitlin left her job as a correctional officer and she hooked up with him.
She got in trouble.
Yeah, she got in trouble. He, from my understanding, nobody has said anything about him having a job, but yet he's driving an Audi A3 Okay, that's a pretty expensive car. That ain't no raggedy old hoopty, right? And every video he's showing himself is on vacation, staying in penthouse hotels, ski resorts, and things like this. Where is the money coming from? Right? So usually money, like I said, is usually the root of all evil. And I think he has been doing illegal things and involved with illegal people. There's rumors that he's involved with gangs in the prison. Now, right now, this is a lot of speculation. We really don't know. Only time will tell.
Courtney has 2 exes that are in prison.
Courtney has 2 exes. Who? Oh, Courtney Rose. Yeah, she has her old man's in prison. Yeah. I mean,
She's got 2 sets of children, the 2 little ones
mhm.
and the 2 older ones that are not alive anymore. Both of the sets of parents have
2 kids.
And they're
both in prison. But what does that have to do with Austin killing them? And listen, whatever is going on, it's not a good enough reason for these people to be dead. All right. If it's over a little bit of money or especially the whole family, let's just say Courtney had problems with Caitlin. I mean, why don't you solve your problem with just her, but why the whole family? It's basically he didn't want to leave no witnesses behind. And I'm trying to think of how they identified that he was the culprit. Do you have any clue of that, Miss Producer?
No, I haven't seen any update on that, but I'm guessing there was
a tip.
No, I'm guessing that there was their vehicles, which I don't still understand how he supposedly drove all 3 of them to the scene. But I believe they had cell phones, so there was some type of
communication on the phones.
Just the pings to the phones.
Yeah, possibly. GPS. That's possibly how they tracked them, or somebody has tipped them off.
Or there's a spray cam somewhere on that street. There's a couple of houses, and then the dead end field, and so they possibly got. And
they had images of the car, so it is possible that
right, because when the baby was dropped off, they were looking for a white SUV or a dark colored sedan, which they both got towed from the scene. So did they do a convoy through to where the?
I'm thinking he used Caitlin to get them out there somehow, and then he unalived them, and then dropped the baby. And there's no way Caitlin didn't know this happened before it happened. That's my opinion. Well, I think she knew.
The sister-in-law's post that we've been reading throughout the day said that they hadn't seen each other or whatnot, but that we don't believe that. And then it also said that they were informed by law enforcement the day before, so they had been known that it was this guy that did it after the fact, and they've all just been sitting around. Yeah, but Caitlin has been hiding, and once they announced the suspect, we were all looking at the 2 profiles she had, and as I was screenshotting the second profile to gather everything I could,
she deleted her first profile. So she knew the heat was coming.
Right. Because the second that his picture came out, I saw on actually what's funny is the sister-in-law's post where she was posting stuff about please help us find the Dyer County, the official request for us to help them find them.
Yes.
There was a comment that she reposted that, and then under that, when they showed his picture, one of her friends on her page posted, "Isn't that Kay's, or that looks like Kay's boyfriend? Question mark, question mark." And she didn't catch that. I caught that, and I actually took a screenshot.
Can y'all hear the producer good? Because there's a fan going, and you're sitting behind the fan.
I'm always super loud. People always complain I'm screaming, and you're not. So
okay, who was Caitlin, Courtney, and who are they to the killer? Okay, this is how it plays out. Courtney Rose is sisters with Caitlin. Caitlin is the wife of Austin Drummer. Did I say it right? Drummer.
I always say Drummond. There's a D at the end.
Yeah, Drummond. So, and he was recently released from prison. He's been out of prison less than a year, and now he's charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, kidnapping, commission of a firearm in use in a felony, and he is facing the death penalty now. I don't think his time in prison, where he was at, is going to be the same, because now when they catch him, he's going to be on death row if he doesn't do anything, to not be here anymore. Let's just say it like that. YouTube's funny about what you say, so I got to watch how I word things in a situation like this. But will he be a coward, or is it going to be, him having a shootout with the police or anything like that? We just don't know at this point. Apparently the young man, he's only 29 years old, is absolutely crazy. Okay. He's crazy and he's a really violent person. So if you see this man, call your local authorities, reach out to 1-800-TBI-FINE. But whatever you do, do not approach this individual. Don't walk up and be like, hey, are you Austin? Because you may not be here tomorrow.
And one of our longtime turtles sent me this, so I actually somewhat believe this, because half of the message is already proven to be true. But it's a conversation with the person that says, my sister knows them, and it's a conversation between them, and I'm guessing one of the people. It says, do you know the girl who was killed in Dyer County? And the person says, no, but it's my friend's family. Courtney, which is the grandma that got killed, that's her sister's boyfriend that killed them. Ruggs are related. He set them up. They were fixing to do a drone into the prison with Ruggs, and he shot them in the back of the head.
Oh, cut that fan off for a second. Okay, hopefully y'all heard the producer. She said a long time turtle said that
sent me a screenshot
that they were dropping rugs. We're gonna say rugs.
I always say rugs.
Into the prison by drone. Why would they need so many people there though? Right? You got the whole family there to supply stuff to the prison.
He set them up. They were fixing to do drone into prison with Ruggs, and he shot them in the back of the head. And then the person said, oh, snap. It's literally all over Facebook, every true crime group I'm in. And then the person says, yeah, it's crazy. The sister was working.
Thank you, Steffers.
Yeah, it's crazy. The sister was working in the prison at the time while dude was locked up, and she got fired for messing with him. They don't know yet if the sister was involved too, but she has deleted social media, and he just got out 8 months ago. So that part's all true.
Yeah. So maybe there is still some elements of a rug situation gone bad, and a lot of people originally thought that in the beginning. I thought it was gang related. I was like, this has, since the vehicle was there, I thought one of the vehicles may have been stolen, but to get all the people there's 3 vehicles there. So 3 people rode up in 3 different vehicles. The mother rode up in one vehicle. Matthew rode up in a vehicle, and the uncle rode up in a vehicle. And then we still have his vehicle. So somewhere on that dead end road were 4 vehicles.
Well, do you think that he took the least likely vehicle that has electronic accessories in it to be able to?
Or he rode there with him and he took the truck to get his car.
But that truck is going to be spotted it's like white and red, and it's old. So there's no way you're driving.
Okay, he's going to take her out, maybe himself. The thing about that is she allegedly is with her family. One of her friends posted saying, stop attacking her. She hadn't talked to him in a long time.
We don't even know that for sure to be factual either.
She didn't know what was going on. She's sad about her family. She feels like she's to blame, and leave her alone. So she is with her family right now.
I'm telling you, we don't know that that's true, because people are coming out defending her. And they're saying that they hadn't talked to each other, which was a lie. She deleted her page, and remember in the very beginning of when I came out here to try to give you a rundown, I said how on the family members' post of him being wanted, and finally they found out who it was, and there's comments under it saying, oh snap, isn't that Kay's BF? So they're not telling us the truth, whether it's her friends or her family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like the family member in the middle of her last post, she's saying they didn't even know each other, and then somebody that knows them, not realizing, saw the picture of the person that was wanted and said, "Oh, that looks like Kay's BF." So, are they together? Are they not together? Have they not?
Well, the friend, the girl that posted earlier today, was a younger black lady, and she was definitely friends with her.
No, I don't deny that they're friends. I'm just saying these people are coming out in droves trying to defend these people they believe are either their family or friends.
Yeah, but how can you defend anybody that's done something so heinous or had something to do with something
I mean, did you
even closely like
the
this?
sister-in-law's post? I'm still at, like, she literally started her post by basically saying, "We love this guy."
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that they all seem to still, it must be something they must have gotten just completely bamboozled by this guy, but at the same time,
Yeah, he ain't that smooth. People are not that stupid.
If you look into the family, we're not going to victim blame them or say, you know, they're all halfway locked up, but half of them are all locked up, and half of them are all some type of
maybe some criminals, and so they didn't care that he was a criminal.
That's in my opinion, it seems that way. That half of the family, if not 90% of the family, has some type of criminal associations or charges themselves, and therefore they didn't necessarily.
That's like, you know, if Tiffany walked in here with a dude that just got out of prison, how far you think he would make it into this house?
Not into the house.
He wouldn't make it. I'm telling you. As soon as I heard he got out of prison, where'd you meet this guy? Oh, we were pen pals. He was in prison.
I'd be like, even get that far. The second that she would have named anybody or anything,
I'd have been like, okay, me and you, bro, we got to speak outside for a second.
And we would look to see who it is or what they're.
Yeah, and PJ would look him up, right? So we would spy and see who he is.
You know,
you would never make it into my house of that type of person. So you have to be okay with what he done to allow this person around you, or truly believe he's rehabilitated. But he had just got out. How could you truly know if he was rehabilitated?
And she met him in the system. So but like I said, all of Courtney's exes seem to be locked up still.
Yeah.
All of Courtney's mama's, well, not her husband. That's Courtney's dad. I found his profile. He's not locked up. He seems okay.
Well, yeah, birds of the same feather flock together.
And then they all have several baby daddies with several sets of children. And I'm not knocking that in any way. It's just
that all her old men are in prison. That's weird.
There's several sets of men that they've all seen.
And you're allowing an inmate around your daughter or your sister. Well, that's her sister. So, I mean, Courtney seemed to like convicts. Caitlin seemed to like convicts. And
Grandma is not alive,
Grandma passed away.
So
you know,
I wouldn't comment on her, but there just seems to be a trail of convicts.
Yeah, a trail of bad people, and now we got this whole situation taking place with this family. All right, so I like to keep up with the Facebook group to see what people are posting and what rumors and what people are speculating to.
I like to read comments, especially when there's family members participating. Or
when they're in the group. Yeah. And this is somebody saying they watched news. They said Austin was romantically involved with Adrian's half sister. That's not true.
Caitlin. It is true. Her dad's name is Chris Speed. He's passed away, and that is her half sister. That's why her last name is Speed. That's what I was saying.
Adrian's is mother.
No. Miss Rose's.
Yeah.
So they've got the sister wrong. You're right. Sorry.
That's wrong. Okay.
The news reported it that way.
Yeah, the news reported it that way. Please share. I share her post once before when we made this group, but please share. I am in no shape suggestion she tied to all this because she's been missing since July 18th. That has nothing to do with it. And there's the little baby. Oh, she's such a cutie. Thank God out of all this, Why not sub up? 71.2K crime fans already have. Thank you, Steffers, and thank you for your super sticker. That is awesome of you. And she is and she gifted a membership. So big. If you got a membership from Steffers, make sure you thank her, give her a big virtual hug. And this is like, oh, such a cute little baby. Like, thank God he didn't hurt this child. I mean, it's bad enough he killed the 15-year-old boy, but thank God, however this ended with this baby on these people's yard, thank God they found the baby. Thank God the baby is okay. And just glad the baby's with us. That's all I can say on that one.
That's what I wanted to clarify when everybody kept saying that Caitlin Speed was incarcerated. I've looked on Vine, I've looked on Mobile Patrol, I've looked on the actual website for Tennessee law.
Yeah, we have not been able to find her incarcerated.
She's not.
And like I said, I've seen her friends post and taken up for her, and they said she's with family. And she deactivated her Facebook because people are blaming her for stuff she didn't have nothing to do. That
her other one.
She ain't been around him, but she may not have access to that.
I know, and that's the one that shows all of her friends, shows all of the old stuff, and it shows her connection to everybody, and was able to verify who actually she was.
Okay, what was the 911 call the night before about? I've been looking but can't find any info. Was Austin possibly there the night before trying to get in or get access to the baby? Did he possibly kidnap the baby and that's how they lured them to the area?
The 911 call was the not the great grandmother, Matthew's mother looking for Courtney and Adriana with a flashlight.
Yeah, that's what I took from it too.
It's confusing.
Bobby, thank you. You do great work, Dolly and PJ. We're a good team. We team up on things.
It's a little confusing because Matthew has a set of parents and family with Matt Wilson, which is his dad, and then it looks as though his mom maybe and his dad aren't together, and there's two families there because the mom also is one that has a GoFundMe and is doing things publicly. You can see her comments and whatnot. So
yes.
She's, I believe, the one that called looking for Adriana and Courtney.
Okay, and this Breezy, it says, thank you, Perry Dobson, for tuning me in to Dolly. Okay.
She just called you Perry Mason. I mean, Dobson.
I think that maybe be the person that told us about this channel.
I don't think so. I think it's a play on words.
Oh, a play on words?
For
okay.
Perry Mason and Dolly Vision.
Orange, just call in. So Orange Juicy's in here, and Orange Juicy said he is kin to Matthew, and he came in last night. I
believe it because I'm the one that told Matt Wilson that this was going on, and that's shortly right after where Orange Juice came in, and I shared the post in the stream with him.
Okay.
I thought that yesterday when I seen him come in.
Okay. I will let's go ahead and open up the phone lines because there may be some people in here that have information they can share.
If it is in fact a relative of that side, I don't believe they can share much, but we know basically now what is going on as far as who the killer is. Well, yeah, or the alleged killer. But yesterday when the town came in, they said that it was a connection between Ruggs and the prison and that guy,
yes,
their family. And then people were saying that they were wrong, but they weren't actually, because that's the stuff that we're still waiting for. Ask for information.
All right, let me pin my phone number for you guys real fast so I don't have to say it a bunch of times, so my mods don't have to keep posting it.
Oh, Caitlin's baby daddy, Cade Butler, said that she's not incarcerated.
Okay.
Currently.
Is he in the room?
No, I saw the
his post.
No, this is under somebody's post in that group. That's why I read all the comments under everything. But there's a screenshot of him saying and confirming that she's actually not incarcerated.
Okay, so we got 1,159 people in the room and only 640 likes. I'm going to need you guys to do me a favor real quick. I need you to hit the like on the video. And once you do, don't cheat. I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from. So now it's time to represent your city, your town, your hood. But first, make sure you hit the like on the video, and then in the chat, let us know where you guys are from. So still on the run. I'm thinking by now he is out of Tennessee. I do not think this man is in Tennessee. But then again, sometimes people stay where they know, you know. But if I was to do something like that, I would try to get out of Tennessee as quick as I can. Or I know he's not in that part of Tennessee, but he could be in one of the bigger cities of Tennessee and kind of blend in. It's hard to blend in rural areas. So most likely he has left that area. I see Ohio in the house. I see Oakland County, Harrisburg, North Carolina, New York, England, Texas. So we got people all over the country, guys. So remember to keep on the lookout for this individual right here, the man in my thumbnail. Let me see if we can get a better picture of him up on the screen real quick. This is his two victims. Let's see if we can get a better picture of him on the screen. Here we go. Here he is. This is the individual that we are looking for. So if you see this man, immediately call 911, no matter what state you're in. Because like I said, I believe he is out of North Carolina by now, South Dakota in the house, East Tennessee, Nova Scotia, Canada's in the house with us tonight. So he could be in Mexico by now, Honduras. I doubt he's went to Mexico, right? He will stick out like a sore thumb in Mexico, and it ain't that easy to get into Canada right now. So I'm thinking he's going to head to what he knows, and he has family members and friends in Rhode Island, in the Boston area. I'm thinking he's heading that way. Now, that's just my opinion. I have no proof to that, but this is the individual that we are looking for. And he could have changed his appearance by now. He could have a bald head and no goatee. I'm not quite sure. He will be driving another vehicle. He won't be in that white Audi. Well, here's the thing. He would have to steal a vehicle. And it's a little harder to steal vehicles these days. It ain't easy as it used to be just to steal a vehicle. A lot of the cars are chipped to start and, have low jack and tracking devices on them. And if he does steal a car, that's going to bring heat to him because they're looking for car thefts in the area. You can believe that. FBI is involved in this case. So this is a national-wide manhunt for Austin Drummond, which I don't believe he should have ever been out of prison. If he hurt somebody in the prison, they should have never, ever let him out. Right? So the system seems like it failed this family by letting this big ass loser out of prison. So, not a Kia or a Hyundai. Okay. He could be in my neck of the woods, New Orleans. Well, like I said, he's had a couple day head start on law enforcement. In a couple days, you could be in California if you drove straight, So we don't know exactly where he's at. Is he able to survive in the woods? He don't look like a manly man, just to be honest. He don't look like he could survive out there in the wilderness or something. So I doubt he ran to like the Appalachia or the Smoky Mountains or something and hid, because usually, them people that are familiar with outdoors and they do stuff like this, they usually run to the mountains where they can't be found. Just like the dude, what's his name? Decker, that unalived his kids and then ran up into the mountains, and they still haven't found him. Okay. They keep having little sightings of him, but they can't get their hands on him. So a lot of these people that have skills with the outdoors, they tend to run to the mountains. And he's in Tennessee, so he's not far from the Smoky Mountains, the Appalachian. So but he don't look like that type of person. He looks like he get bit by a mosquito and he would cry. He just don't look like he could survive that type of life. Not a mountain man. That's what I'm saying. So we know he's a city boy. He's a city slicker. You can Travis Decker. Yeah. We know he ain't going but so far because of he just ain't built for that life. Okay. You can clearly look at him and tell that. So he's going to be in a city environment to where he believes he can fit in. This dude don't look that smart. I don't think this dude is smart. He's going to slip up. Oh, he just meffing around. He could get a wig, shave his beard off, change of car. Yeah, but the FBI are on to him. We called him earlier. He didn't even have his phone off. Okay. So I'll be surprised if in the next couple days that he's not caught. Somebody, as that reward goes up, he's going to reach out to somebody, and he seems like he hangs with bad people. And let me tell you this, bad people are the first people to turn you in. Okay. Bad people are usually the first ones that take that reward. They're like, I'm getting this money. And they tell on you. A lot of these bad people are already working with the police. Okay. So if he goes and talks to anybody, somebody's going to tell on him. And it's happened way too many times to think it won't happen to him. I bet you had a car waiting for him. Bad boys, or a lesser sentence. That's right. He's going to reach out to somebody. He's going to need help. Okay. And I don't think he did this at the spur of the moment. I think he planned this. I believe this was premeditated. For what reason and what the motive is, that is unclear right now. But it appears that this is premeditated. He just didn't go, oh, let me kill them for no reason and take off. He had planned this. And like I said, if what we're hearing is true, and he had a court date coming up that was going to send him back to prison for the rest of his life, he didn't have nothing to lose. And there's rumors that Caitlin and Courtney might have been, butting heads or not getting along. Dolly called the killer tonight. Yeah, I called him earlier today. I called both their phones. Caitlin's phone rang, and then the next time I called it, it was turned off. Okay, because I was able to look up their numbers. And because, I got a PI that lives with me. Okay, my producer. And then we were able to call Austin's phone, and his phone rang. Okay, we left him a couple messages trying to get him to turn himself in. We told him we would trade him some ramen noodles and other things if he would go ahead and just turn himself in, that I needed the reward money. But he didn't call back, or, somebody called, but I doubt it was him. And so he's out there. You can believe that he is watching what is going on from wherever he's at. And the more we can get this out here in the groups and on YouTube and YouTubers talking about it. PJ, check your messages. PJ just went and laid back down. She has to work in the morning, so she has to get up. So I doubt if there's anything that you want seen or me to notice, you're going to have to send it to my Facebook, and one of my mods could post my Facebook link. And the phone line is open. If you guys want to call in and discuss this, the call-in number is 757-797-6694. So far, we've heard a lot of theories of why this may have occurred, and there's really no good reason. This dude should be buried under the jail, far as you can get him, and not see a bit of daylight ever again until the day he is executed. And if you need somebody to pull the switch or do the injection, you hit up Dolly, and I won't even charge you nothing. I'll come right on down to Tennessee, and I'll take care of this without a problem for you, right? There's people like this is a monster. And I tell people all the time, it's people like this that I'm scared of. I'm not scared of any horror movies. I collect horror movie stuff, But when I see people like this is scary, because when you look at the dude, he looks like a big old puss that, you know, couldn't do much. But apparently you can't judge every book by its cover, because this man has unalived 4 people and possibly somebody into prison. Now, you know he's going to need a weapon, because he looks like a soggy noodle of a man. It don't look like he can kick too much, but without a firearm or a shank in his hand. He just don't look like he's much of nothing to me, like just a punk, right? And I hope he's caught like by tomorrow morning, during the day. We didn't get a press conference today. Nick Barris came out, which is a news anchor there in Tennessee. He also covered Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers and Holly Snap and Layla Santinella. We have covered a lot of crimes in Tennessee. I've honestly covered more crimes in Tennessee than I have my home state of Virginia. And I'll tell you why that is, because Tennessee don't tend to catch their people. They don't tend to solve cases. So I was kind of amazed. Nick looked like he had a mop on his head today. I was like, what the hell is going on with Nick Barris's hair? I thought it was like a Predator movie. It was going to grab me. You know, you ever seen that? I think it's a Skittles commercial where the dude has a long beard and the beard reaches out and it grabs one of the Skittles off the table and eats it. I thought his hair was going to do some shit like that. I was like, what is going on? Why does it look like he has a mop on his head? For anybody that's seen that Nick Barris interview, I look at Nick Barris like he's a pretty good source of information. He does have friends in the police department. He does have some resources there in Tennessee that do, because he's been there for a long time, that do give him information. And he's pretty good. I ain't saying he's perfect, right? He ain't no Dolly, okay? He ain't no Dolly, but he's decent. You know, he's a decent source of information to listen to. I don't like that guy. Sorry. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like Nick. I have no problem with him. Like I said, I think he's a good source of information. He just don't, I think he rubs people the wrong way, you know, just how he carries himself. But, you know, like I said, he has more sources in the police department and with TBI than say me, you know, honestly, because he's a news reporter. So they don't tell me much of nothing. I just got to get in with the locals and, you know, figure it out for myself. But I have a good way of sources of getting information. And I guarantee you, if I was there in town, I would know way more than I know right now, because I get in with the locals. And soon as you get in with the locals, they tell you everything. Like if I was in that county right now, I'd be sitting up in the bar, sipping on a Bud Light and having everybody tell me everything about the whole family. I would know their whole life history by now. Hold on, producer's back.
This, but I just wanted to read. I think this is what I was trying to tell you earlier. But originally, when his background was pulled and whatnot, he had all them issued charges while he was incarcerated. And some people in the comment section were saying that there was 2 people with the same name and all this. This is him. And if that comment about the rugs and all that, clear as day, there's a connection to the prison, the rugs, the family, him. He's had, while incarcerated, charges of Schedule 2 drugs, the meth,
manufacturing, yeah, I see that.
Contraband in facility, contraband rugs in facility, and
intoxicated in the facility.
So, like, how did this guy? First of all, how did this guy get out? And now it's like clearly, it's got to have some kind of connection to that.
Okay, so he wasn't charged with unaliving somebody in jail. He was charged with attempting to unalive in jail. So that's what he had court coming up for.
All right, violation date 8/29/23.
Yeah, so he violated.
First degree attempted.
Yeah, and
that's
then
why it's confusing.
Yeah, he was charged, and then he got out of prison, and he was waiting to go back to prison
on a $30,000 bond.
On a $30,000 bond. So this guy should have never been on the street. Can you send me that Nick Veras update?
He did that live that I was telling you about when we were out there with the mop on his head.
Yeah, yeah, send that to me.
Okay.
So this man should have never been out. And one, you know, it don't seem like he served long for the crime he committed.
Somebody asked if we're related. That's because you never say I'm girlfriend. You said I'm producer. People are get confused.
No. All right, hold on.
That's hilarious.
Dolly.
Hello.
Hello. You need to turn me.
Dolly?
Yeah, you need to turn me down in the background.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, who's this? Where are you calling from?
This is Sharon Holbrook from North Carolina.
Okay, Sharon, what's going on with you tonight?
Is this Dolly Vision?
Yes, in the flesh.
Okay. Let me tell you, I was noticing, I went through the Facebook page and I noticed, you know, where the baby's daddy was posting, and he posted the obituary for the grandma's mom, and he said she had no money. So it couldn't be money involved there.
Oh, so he was saying she was broke. So it ain't.
He said she was a drug addict and she was broke.
Well, then she ain't gonna have a whole lot of money. She ain't gonna have.
Well, it's posted on her obituary. If you go down and see all that, it's posted on there, and it's got her obituary. And then his name is Cade, I think, Butler.
Yeah.
But he's wrote in it where he said, well, they ain't fighting over her estate because she didn't have nothing. She was a drug addict.
Oh, okay. So there's something else. There's some other motive in play. A lot of people believe it's still behind illegal substances, and he double.
I hate to say this, but from what I get from Tennessee, I used to love going to Gatlinburg. I don't think me and my husband's ever going back there. Everybody that goes to Tennessee gets gone. That boy was in the right state. He's just going to go talk to the bare feet and the Waleses, and he's going to be gone forever.
Well, he don't want to go around them people. He will vanish.
That's what I'm saying. If he goes around them, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
He's gone for good then.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe they'll do to him what they've done to their own children.
I hope they find those children. I hope there's answers.
I hope they find him, and I'm praying for the family. I really am. And the young man that was his baby daughter, I mean, I hate it for his dad. I went through losing a sister, and I'm still watching my mom. I'm still grieving over that from 2023. And I've watched my mom and daddy go through a death with a child, and it is not good. It is not good whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, I appreciate you calling.
Thank you. I finally got to talk to you. We love you down here.
Thank you. Thank you. You be good. Stay safe.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, peace. Yeah, she came in a little hot, a little loud. What are you doing, Wrangler? The dog just came in. He wants his 15 minutes of fame. You want to come up and say hi to everybody? Come on. Come on. Come on, big boy. Say hi to the French Bulldog. Say hi to everybody, Rangy. Say hi to everybody. Say hey. Say you love your daddy. Say I love my daddy. If any killer broke in here, you got to get past Wrangler first, okay? He's my security. He'll lick me to death, but he is mean as crap to everybody else. Me and PJ is like the only people he likes. Ain't we? Ain't we? All right, you got to get down. Go in there with mama. Okay. Yeah, he wanted to show his face. I got to pay him. Anytime he shows up on screen, he wants a dog bone or a dog treat. He likes these little steak things that cost $20 a bag. Like, he needs to get a job is what he needs to do. All right. He's an expensive ass little dog. His vet bills are high. The food he eats is $100 a bag. He's like, because he's allergic to life. So he can only have like one type of dog food, and it's really expensive. Okay. So I was like, you got to get a job, dude. You need to start YouTube and start your own YouTube channel or something. Caitlin, she deleted her Facebook. Okay. She couldn't take the heat. So she got out the kitchen. And she ain't going to be able to go anywhere in that town because everybody is believing she has some involvement in Frenchies Are the Best. He's cool. You know, he's my buddy. He snores and he's a little fart machine. Right. So he's cool though. He's a cool dog. I told him earlier I was going to get him a helmet so he could go riding on the bike with me, you know, with some little doggy goggles. So he can get in the slingshot with me and I can take him to the beach. So hopefully I'm gonna order him some doggy goggles tomorrow and a little dog helmet if I can find one. Grandma's sister's boyfriend. I love mine. Snores is what puts me to sleep. LOL. Looks like T-Rev. Okay. The dog looks like T-Rev. Okay. Well, Wrangler don't DoorDash. Okay. He don't do any door dashing. So who thinks this man is going to stay in Tennessee? I truly don't think he's going to stay in Tennessee. I think he's done fled the state already. Now, if he switched up vehicles, I don't know. Does he have any experience in stealing cars? If you ain't never stole a car, it's hard to steal a car. Okay. It ain't as easy as they make it look in the movies. You got to have some knowledge of stealing cars, but you got to remember he's been in prison, and there's one thing you get educated to is how to be a criminal in prison. A lot of times people don't get rehabilitated. They learn how to be a better criminal. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's Army Mom. How are you?
Hey, Army Mom. I'm doing pretty good. You're not too bad. Can't complain.
I want to first start off by saying that Wrangler is much better looking than T-Rev.
I think so too.
Yeah, I do too. Now, Dolly, was the baby dropped off before the homicides, or was it after? Or did they know?
That we're not sure of, but it appears to me that they were unalived and the baby was dropped off. Because they found their bodies shortly after the baby was recovered. So, but then again, he could have been in the vehicle, made them drop the baby, took them to a location and did what he did. Because I don't think he drove his Audi to the location. Because why would he have took the truck if he had his Audi there?
Yeah, and both of those vehicles belong to the victims, right?
All three of them belong to the victims. The white Equinox or whatever it was, the white SUV, belonged to Courtney Rose. The black car belonged to her brother, the 15-year-old. And the white and red truck belonged to Matthew. That's what his dad said, that truck was his. So that wasn't the granddad's truck. That was Matthew's truck. It belonged to him.
It's just so strange how they just wound up way out there in the middle of nowhere.
I know. He had, the family trusted this guy. They liked him too. That's what they're saying, is they liked him and they trusted him. So if you trust somebody, he led them out there. They met up with him. He told them something. And I bet you it's their phones that they were able to say that he was the last person they talked to. And that's probably how they figured he was the culprit. It's from his phones and doorbell cams, because they actually had a picture of his Audi, but I don't know where that picture was taken from.
It's just so strange. Everything that happens in Tennessee is just so mysterious. It just can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I live here in Tennessee. It's scary. I'm
yeah.
Stay home. Not go anywhere.
Be on the lookout, because you never know. I mean, it's a small world, believe it or not.
Yes. I was out in town today and I was looking for that vehicle. I imagine he's probably either ditched that vehicle or changed tags on something. Or he's just hiding somewhere very well.
Yeah, he's probably, I don't know if he's changed vehicles, because, you would want something that's, quick to get you away from there. He probably has stole other tags. It probably don't have those tags on the vehicle.
Yeah.
because that would be a dead giveaway. And you can believe they put out APBs in every state around looking for Tennessee tags coming through the state.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I heard it come over our scanner too. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, people are living in border states are telling me that they've gotten warnings that the man is on the loose and to be out on the lookout. So it's all over the news, and it's only going to continue to pick up steam as the story grows on the internet. More mainstream media will be talking about it, and terrible situation. He's going to pay for what he done if they ever get him to prison. Right. I don't think they
I
will.
bet Caitlin knows exactly where he is too.
Oh, Caitlin knows where he's at. Of course.
Yeah,
and she knew this was going to happen before it did. This was planned. And that's why she took everything down, and they didn't think he would get caught. And before, within a day, they knew who done it and had already charged him. So I don't think they were expecting to be figured out so fast, and they were. But yeah, if this woman is really pregnant with his kid, she knows where he's at, or she knows where he's going.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, Dolly, you have a good rest of your night. It was good talking to you.
I'll try my best. You be good.
All right, peace.
All right. So yeah, for all the people, the one good thing about this channel is I cover a lot of true crime in Tennessee. A lot of my viewers, a lot of my callers are from Tennessee. Okay, we're like one of the biggest Tennessee true crime channels there is. I spend a lot of time myself in Tennessee searching for Summer Wells, searching for Sebastian Rogers, searching for Layla Santinella, Holly Snap. So, and over the years, I've been covering all these cases. Why isn't Kayla being investigated? Why is she free? I don't understand that. Well, I'm sure she's saying she has nothing to do with it. Right. And right now, if they don't have anything that ties her to it, they really ain't got much they can do unless they got some proof she has some involvement in it. Now, I would be seizing her phone because I truly believe she does. Right. And you got to remember, she knew this dude was a criminal when she got with him. She got with him while she worked at a prison, and was hooking up with this dude and ended up getting in trouble for having sexual relationships with this man while he was incarcerated. And she didn't care. And as soon as she got out, they hooked up and they ran off. The baby daddy said he hadn't talked to his kid since they got together. That Austin, right, he was mean to the child, her child. So this is a woman that got with a man that treats her kid like shit and was in prison for abduction and armed robbery. So she didn't care. She knew she was with a lowlife. One of his daughter's friends will turn him in when finding out for the reward money. Oh, you can believe if I knew where he was at, I'd turn him in, right? And then I'd take that reward money and donate it to the family so they can bury these people. Right? That reward money is enough. He should go to one of his friends and say, look, turn me in and be a man, because it's going to cost that much money. At least there's a $15,000 reward. It's going to cost at least $15,000 to cremate and to have a service for these 4 people that he brutally took the lives of. So, but this man, he looks like a big old coward, sissy. He thinks he's tough, but only tough with a weapon. He don't look like he could win a street fight to save his life. So is he going to make it to the prison? Is Caitlin and her kid alive? Yes. Do we know? Yes. And it's rumored from her friends that are defending her on Facebook. I even left a really mean comment. And I usually don't do that. I don't usually leave mean comments. But her friend was really defending her. And I said, maybe you should hook up with somebody that's getting out of prison. Like if you're so trusting of people, right? It's easy. Oh, don't give her a hard time. She didn't know. Yes, she did. She knew exactly what type of low life she was getting up with. This man tried to unalive somebody in the prison, and then you allowed that man into your home, around your kid, around your family, and now you act like you surprised somebody got hurt. Cry me a river, okay? I don't buy it. The reward is only 7,500. They have to know they don't need that to catch him. I heard the reward was 15,000, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of, rumors and stuff going around. So maybe I heard something that wasn't completely right, but it would make more sense because earlier today, the reward was $2,500. And I was thinking that's not much to turn in a killer. We need to up that a little bit, but apparently Tennessee don't have a lot of funds. I guess, I don't know, but I was thinking $2,500, that ain't very much to tell on this man. Dolly, just coming in, did the abandoned baby die? No, thank God for the people that lived in the house. They seen somebody driving by and it looked like they dropped something off, so they went to check, and it was the baby in the car seat. And of course, it was good people, and they took the baby, called the authorities. The baby is okay. The baby is in custody of CPS, the state, right now, until they figure out what the best move is for the child. And of course, Matthew's dad, we have spoke with him today, and he thanks everybody for donating to the GoFundMe. And he thanked us for sharing it. Some of my mods, y'all can continue to share his GoFundMe. Right now, I think the GoFundMe is at about $1,400, which he's trying to raise $4,500. So if you got a few extra bucks to spare, it is a very good cause because he is going to have to bury his son. And right now, like I said, we're not going to blame this on any of the victims. We don't know the motive of this. We don't know if it was because of an argument with Matthew, or is an argument with Adriana, argument with Courtney or her brother. We just don't know. But whatever it was, it's no reason whatever it is. I don't care if it's over money, over illegal substances. There's no reason to take the lives of all these people or any of these people. Okay. What happened to the good old days when you owe people money? You just break a kneecap. Now people want to take you and your whole family out. It's a crazy world we live in. Poor baby. Yes. Crazy. He got bail. Yes. $30,000 for attempting to unalive somebody in the prison. Was him and Grandma X incarcerated together? That I do not know. Okay. Is this some beef that he took out on her? I have no clue. I mean, they're both in the same state. They both were in the same prison system, but that don't mean they were incarcerated together. You can be in the same jail with people and never even see them. Some of these facilities are pretty big. They have different pods. So you could be in one pod and somebody else could be in another pod, but I don't know for sure. There's a possibility they could know each other. Is it gang related? 7.5 from TBI and 7.5 from U.S. Marshals makes $15,000. Okay, so maybe I did hear right. Let me see if my producer sent me that interview that I asked her for. Give me 1 second. I want to jump over to this.
Coming to you Facebook Live on what is a Thursday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. And as I mentioned on my Facebook page earlier today, I promised, several of you had requested, because you have questions and want to know more details about this awful case, as the manhunt continues tonight for what is a mass murderer. That would be 29-year-old Austin Roberts Drummond. Most of you, if you're watching this, already know the case. I've been following it very closely. This is out of far west Tennessee, but is now a statewide story, and it's become national. You know the situation. And by the way, you may be wondering, Nick, okay, so he's an accused killer, an alleged mass murderer. Mass murderer, in my book, is if you kill more than 3 or 4 people, you are considered a mass murderer, and that's what he is, allegedly. So let me give you a quick update. We were hoping to learn more this evening from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, which is really heading up this case, along with the FBI and along with sheriff's departments in both Lake and Dyer County. But they canceled a scheduled news conference for tonight. And I assume we'll hear something tomorrow. Maybe they're hopeful that they'll make an arrest overnight. But just to give you the very latest on all of this, all day long was spent, of course, searching for this suspect, the 29-year-old Austin Robert Drummond. His face at this point is
Nick
everywhere.
Barris has been listening to Justin Timberlake. Look at that hair.
Point is being helped by someone. He's hiding out. We're going to talk in a moment about his vehicles and where he might be. But unless he's completely somehow gotten out of the state, he's around here. And there have been unconfirmed reported sightings of him in Jackson, Tennessee, and elsewhere over the past 48 hours. But just in case you're not completely clear on this case, just to let you know, he is currently charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm, and 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. All of these very serious counts, all of these.
That's too funny. Somebody said this guy has an 80s workout vibe. It's the crazy hair that Nick Barris got's going on right now. But yeah, he's Channel 5 Nashville reporter. He's covered a lot of cases, everything from Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, Layla Santinella, all the stuff that basically I've covered down there in Tennessee, Nick has been a part of. So the hair is a little crazy. Okay, the hair is a little crazy. You guys said, maybe he's trying to bring the mop hair back. I don't know, but so he's saying there's been some sightings of him unconfirmed in Jackson, Tennessee. If I did that, I would have gotten the hell out of the state. But we got to remember his girlfriend is in Tennessee, and how far is he going to go without her? Or did he really even care?
The most serious that you can be charged with, and if he is caught, I understand that the district attorney will seek the death penalty in this case. He does remain at large, is considered armed and dangerous. This all started, 3 days ago with the report of an abandoned baby in Dyer County. A woman driving past a home saw a baby's car seat in the front yard of someone's house, stopped, and there was a baby in it. And so, of course, all right, someone discarded a baby. This is awful. The baby was taken and is safe and well and is okay tonight. And the next step, of course, is trying to locate the parents. So they put out a report for the parents. There's a missing person report for the parents. And the very next day, the bodies of the parents and 2 others were found in Lake County, about 20 miles north of where the baby was left in Dyer County. The deceased are 21-year-old Matthew Wilson, that is the baby's father, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, that is the baby's mother, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, the baby's maternal grandmother, and 15-year-old Braden Williams, the baby's maternal uncle, who I assume Braden is Matthew's brother, only 15 years old. All 4 of them found dead in a wooded area in Lake
Dolly.
Now,
hey, Dolly, it's Rhonda from Tennessee.
Hey, Rhonda, what's going on?
I called to pick on you.
You called to pick on me?
It's not Appalachian. It's Appalachian.
Appalachian. Same thing. Potato, it's all the same.
I just love you. This is the one you met at the courthouse when Megan, what's her name, was on call. Remember?
Yes.
I gave you the turtle.
Yes, I remember you.
Yeah. I just called to pick on you a little bit.
Didn't you bring me a hamburger too?
No, there was another little girl there, 2 little girls there that brought you the burger.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. There was. That was the other couple that brought me the smash burger. That was really good.
Yeah.
The burger was really good. And I still have the turtle. It's in my camper truck.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I just love you all, and I just wanted to pick on you. I hadn't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah. That's the last time I've been down to Tennessee was for the Megan Boswell trial. And, what she did to her baby was just unbelievable.
Well, see, I only live like 4 or 5 miles from there, but I live right beside the cemetery where little Evelyn's buried. And you wouldn't believe the way that they keep her little headstone and stuff decorated. Everything's new all the time.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
I hope she rots in prison. I truly do. I truly do. Okay.
Yeah. And this guy right here needs to rot in prison too. I'm like you. I don't even know why he was out.
Yeah, I mean, he's allegedly hurt somebody in the prison, and they let him out on a $30,000 bond.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, because he was in jail for aggravated assault and kidnapping, and his time was up. And then he had that charge, so they were still charging him with that. But he should have never been out.
Right, but I think it's all drug related, and I think that his girlfriend knew what was going to happen. You know, I believe she ain't in the dark. You know what I mean?
No, she's definitely not in the dark, and that's why she can't face anybody, and that's why she's off social media.
Right. But I love you, Dolly, and I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, all right, you be good.
All right, peace out.
Justice Jane said, I got to meet Dolly and PJ at the courthouse. Usually, here's the bad thing, guys. Usually when I get to meet most of you, it's under really bad circumstances. Okay. In Lolo and Wrangler. Yes. At Megan Boswell's trial. So for you guys that are just tuning in, maybe from Tennessee, or maybe not have never seen my show, I spent a lot of time in Tennessee, okay? Like too much. And before I started this true crime stuff, I had never been to Tennessee. But all the cases that are like mysteries and missing and people not found or baby killers or any of that, it seems to all be in Tennessee. All the craziest stuff happens in Tennessee. So I spend a lot of time in Tennessee, and I usually meet people when I'm covering these cases. You know, Summer Wells, Megan Boswell's, Baz Rogers, you know, on and on. And I always meet people under like the worst circumstances when there's a tragedy. I always consider myself like a plague doctor. If you see me in your town, something bad has happened, right? And that's usually the only reason I am there, to try to find answers for what is going on. And I almost wish I was in Tennessee right now, because I would know so much more about the inner workings of this family than I ever could from sitting at this desk. Right. I would know everything, because like I said, I would just go where the locals hang out, and I would just sit there like a normal person and talk to people, start a conversation with everybody. And you'll be surprised what people will tell you and what rumors you will hear. And, you know, all of it may not be true, but you got to pick the truth out of all the gossip that's going around, because you can believe all the locals in Dyer County and the surrounding counties around there. They're all talking about this. They're all talking amongst themselves. And when you get in these rural communities, everybody knows everybody, or they know of each other. Does Caitlin still work at the prison? Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. She doesn't.
Now, law enforcement at this point has not yet said how they were killed, but we do hear that he is charged with felon
with a gun,
possession of a weapon. So we
they
don't
were
know for
shot,
certain, but that leads me to believe that they were likely shot and killed if they believe he had a gun.
That don't take a genius there, Nick. Okay. That don't take a genius. Anybody would have knew that when he was charged with possession of a firearm above a convicted felon. That tells you right there he shot him
to commit this crime. We don't know that for certain, but that's one of the charges. And that brings up the fact that he is a convicted felon. And interestingly enough, when this crime occurred, Drummond allegedly, committing these murders, was currently out on bond. Okay, he has a long criminal history. Currently out on bond, possession of methamphetamine with the intent to sell or deliver, possession of contraband in a penal institution, attempted first-degree murder, possession of contraband in a penal facility. Those 4 counts. He was out on bond waiting for prosecution in those cases.
So he was going back to prison forever. He was gone. This is why he felt, I guess, he had nothing to lose and he could do these things. I doubt that he goes without putting up a fight or doing something to himself. I'm just going to say it like that. This is going to end in possibly, with some bang bang going on, and terrible situation.
This crime occurred. It's just a heartbreaking, terrible.
And you know his mom and dad put up to 30,000. They're the ones that were pumping canteen into him when he was in prison. They're the ones that have cuddled this monster. His family, his mom and his dad, you know, they take responsibility in some of this because they're the ones that came up with the money to get him out. Did Dolly the bounty hunter get any calls back this morning? No, he hasn't called back. He ain't left me a message. I haven't checked yet, but I will.
Terrible case. I think about the infant who lost both parents. I think about that 15-year-old. And then you wonder about motive here. A lot of people asking about a connection. What's the connection? This, we can tell you, was not a murder-suicide. And this was not random by some serial killer. They're now saying, of course, Drummond is the prime suspect in this case, all right? If Drummond's the prime suspect in this case, what connection did he have with the family? Well, we now know that he had a connection with the family. My understanding is that he was involved with a member of the family. Let me see, the way I understand it. And the DA has shared some information without going into more details. And the district attorney, by the way, who I think has been very forthcoming on a lot of this, confirms that Drummond dated or is dating a relative of the baby's mother or grandmother. That's what we know. And again, he was recently released from prison on 2013 robbery charges, but also has those pending charges, okay? So all of these pending charges, and he's out. Now, what have I learned about Drummond in the past few days? There's an awful lot of rumor going around, what his story is and all this. Well, we've confirmed he's a bad dude. Today, I spoke with someone close to this investigation who is familiar with him. And he tells me that Drummond is someone who belongs to a gang, a criminal gang, okay? Not a criminal gang, and he deals in drugs, okay? We know that based on the charges, but not cartels, a gang, okay? He belongs to a criminal gang. And the individual I talk with, who works in law enforcement, says one of the charges Drummond is facing is that he was caught using drones to fly over area, he was using drones to fly over prisons to drop drugs down to them, meaning that he had connections and was working with individuals inside prisons to smuggle or drop in drugs, and that he was caught at one point, and the Tennessee Department of Corrections was investigating him for allegedly flying drones over some criminal facilities or some jail facilities and prison facilities to drop drugs down. So if you're wondering about motive, and we don't want to go too far into this because we simply don't know, but my belief, if I have to draw from this, is that Drummond was involved in some kind of criminal activity involving drugs. And that somehow, some way, the 4 people he killed, if they were not directly involved with him, perhaps somehow got caught up in it, or perhaps were going to report him, or who knows what. And he decided to dispatch them, allegedly. That's the thinking. And then the question is, how did this all go down? I mean, it's hard for me to believe that he did this alone. But consider this. The bodies were found in close proximity to a prison there in Lake County. Now, do you believe that Drummond could have somehow gathered up all of the 4 of these individuals with, I assume, the baby, okay, and said, all of you, get in my car, we're all driving out there? Well, we already know there were at least 2 vehicles, maybe 3 vehicles there at the site where the bodies were found. 2 vehicles were found and towed away. So I don't believe he forced them at gunpoint to go. I believe he somehow coerced or deceived them into meeting him at this location.
I do too.
Why? I don't know. And I believe that when they met him at this location, he proceeded then to take them by surprise. And at that point, maybe they couldn't defend themselves. He shot and killed all 4 of them. What's interesting is that, again, if you believe this theory, the baby was there with them, and he did not kill the baby. And he took the baby and drove the 20 miles back south, back into Dyer County, dropped the baby off in that front yard, and then left. That's my thinking. But in terms of motive, we don't know. Law enforcement has not said what motive is at this point, but I believe drugs. And suffice to say, Drummond is a bad, bad dude.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Law enforcement source I spoke with
And you see, even I said I believe that he was a rug dealer, or we'll say a hug. We'll use the word hug. It sounds better. A hug dealer. So somebody sent me the profile of a Caitlin Rose Westmoreland. Okay. Who is that? All right, let me write them back. Is that ain't this Caitlin is from San Antonio, Texas. Is this a different, because he does have the name Caitlin Rose, and she does have pictures of the family on her profile. Does anybody in the chat know which lady that is? Is that a different Caitlin? How many Caitlin Roses could there be? I thought the other girl was Caitlin Speed. All right, give me 1 second. Let me write this person that sent me that back. Okay. So maybe that person will hit me back. Caitlin shouldn't have Rose as a last name, though. That was Courtney's old man. It is Caitlin Speed. Okay, well, somebody sent me the profile of Caitlin Rose Westmoreland. Goes by Kitty. And they're from Texas. And 21 hours ago, she posted a picture of the family that was found in Tennessee. And she posted a couple pictures of the family. I wonder what her connection is to them, or is she just... Because the name is just crazy, right? I don't know exactly who this person is. Maybe they'll send me some more details on what that's about. Logan Rose was married to the grandmother he allegedly incarcerated too. Maybe they were cutting out the middleman and he found out. Mods, please do not block anyone. Delete the messages. Also unblock the person that was just blocked. Yeah, I believe if this lady was corrupt inside the prison, okay, and she was sleeping with inmates, then there's other corruption going on in the prison, and maybe they were supplying that prison with hugs, okay? Because listen, a lot of these prisons, you can get more hugs, especially in the showers, than you can on the street. And in the prison system, hugs go for 3 times more. Okay, so just say you had a pack of cigarettes. In the prison, you're talking $5 a pop, right? 20 cigarettes in a pack. You do the math. So, and think about that when you start to deal with these illegal substances, and it go for 3 times more. So the hug game in the prison is really big. And these gangs that are inside the prison, they got connections to the outside. So all it takes them is to call up people or things like that, and they can have things done, because money's money. A lot of these inmates use Cash App. So you can Cash App their money to them, and they can have a virtual account that they can get on these tablets and stuff like that. And then they take the Cash App and send it to their commissary. So these inmates are using like Cash App. Even loose tobacco is expensive AF, right? Definitely. That's what I'm saying. So I believe this is how he was able to afford the Audi A3. This is how he was affording those vacations. He knew that he had officers inside the prison that he worked with, like he was banging the one, right? He was with. So I'm sure he manipulated other guards in there, and he may have been dropping off hugs by drones right into that facility. And he had planned on going back, and something went wrong, and he's done hurt these people. I mean, So there has to be a motive. $100 a pack. That's right. Right. So, I mean, everything's 3 times as much in the system. So even in jail, jail is even more because it's harder to get things into a jail. So jail prices are higher than prison prices.
Who knows of him and knows about some of his attempts to smuggle drugs into prisons, and he's been in prison himself, believes that he may well be a hitman for one of these gangs that he's killed before and maybe has not been caught. Remember, he was charged with attempted murder. Now he's charged with killing 4 people. You think that's the first time he did this, if indeed he did? No. This is a bad person associated with bad people. And I wonder whether or not
I agree.
he acted alone. Now, a couple other things to talk about.
Maybe he didn't act alone. That's how come there's 2 vehicles. The truck's missing and his Audi A3 is missing. Maybe he had somebody that was one of his gang buddies or prison buddies with him when he did this. There could be somebody else involved.
We discussed the fact that there were vehicles there. Now, I've learned that 2 vehicles were towed away by the TBI from the crime scene, all right? Another one, a 1988 Ford F-150, believed to belong to Matthew Wilson, one of the deceased, is missing. It's a red and white pickup truck. On my Facebook page, I posted that. The TBI also provided a photo of the suspect's white Audi. Okay, they think Drummond has a white Audi, which witnesses reported seeing what appeared to be a white vehicle dropping off the baby in the car seat in that yard that morning. Okay, that could have been him doing it, and then he drove away. Right now, that Audi and that Ford F-150 still have not been found. So right now, anyone with information on this is asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND or contact authorities in Lake or Dyer County. Do not approach this individual. They believe that almost certainly that he is armed and dangerous. You have to know he's been in prison before. You have to know he's now accused of killing 4 people. He has to know that if he's caught, he will face the death penalty. He will be convicted and he will be executed, though we know that'll take years to happen. But that tells me he's not going to just surrender.
Yes, they can use Cash App to pay people outside the prison. So they'll usually have it on a account number. Like, you don't even need a card. You just need the numbers, right? And when you set up a Cash App, it'll give you the card number, right? You can press on the digital card and it'll flip the card over. And it'll tell you the card number, so they can get on the phone. They can order things on the outside. They can send people stuff, and they basically have a credit card in the prison, right? Because they're using these Cash App accounts virtually without the actual card. They don't even got to have the card. They just need the numbers, and you can call somewhere and you can order things by phone. You can go on the these tablets they got and order things. You can pay people, and it's a way that they're bundling money in and out the prisons. So say they make a bunch of money in prison, they have their people pay it from the outside onto a Cash App, right? When they sell these hugs, it's paid for on Cash App. And then they take that money and they send it out to prison through Cash App. So Cash App is used by families on the outside so they can put money on the books also. But what they do is, say an inmate wants, we're going to use oodles and noodles, right? Or just say inmates want hugs. They'll say, okay, my family member, I'll send you $10 or whatever the fee is. And then the money is sent from the outside to that person. And then that person sends it to, whoever they want to send it to. So all they're doing is funneling money. And then the money that's coming out of prison is more than you could get on the street. So there's hug dealers in there giving out hugs that are making more money than people on the street.
I'll be very surprised if they're able to take him peacefully.
I said the same thing.
On the other hand, if he is involved with a gang, as my source who's familiar with him says, if you're a gang, and maybe they ordered the hit and said, look, you have to get rid of these 4 people because they know too much or whatever, okay? And again, there's no indication that the 4 who are deceased had any involvement in anything illegal or criminal. We don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what the motive is. If that was the case, and he goes ahead and does this, and now they fingered him for it, and his picture's everywhere. His gang member is going to say, this guy's too hot to handle. Let's get rid of him too. Can't rule out that possibility. In a lot of these horrible cases, as you well know, the suspects in some of these mass shootings kill themselves. They're cowards and they commit suicide. So, you know, in this thing, instead of facing the music. So Austin Robert Drummond is 5'10", 190 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes with a goatee. But the TBI did.
No, Amazon's not going to deliver to a prison, but they will deliver, say a prisoner orders something to somewhere else, they'll deliver it there. Right? So say this dude you have a girlfriend on the outside and you want to buy your girlfriend something. You can use your PayPal card, order it from Amazon, and then send it to the outside. You just don't give your address as the prison. Amazon don't know where you're at. They know because you program your address in. You just give your address as where you want the item sent to. Right? Just like I sent items to Don and Candace Wells in Tennessee. I send them dog food. I haven't in a while. I probably need to. But that's my good deed that I do for Don and Candace because I talk about Summer Wells. And so I send them dog food. I haven't in a little while, but speaking of which, somebody remind me and I'll send them some dog food because, you know, I want to make sure their dogs eat. So that's just one of those good deeds that Dolly tries to do. Christmas, I sent them 140 pounds of dog food. So I know they need some more by now. And puppy food. I sent them puppy. I can't even talk. Puppy food too. So, but I put in my address as Don and Candace's address in Tennessee, and they ship it to there. Okay. So you can do it. That's what I'm saying.
Issue. And again, you can see all of this on my Facebook page.
Caitlin's not on the run with
They
him.
believe he's likely taken steps to try to change his appearance. And that would involve the picture they provided him clean shaven, completely clean shaven. So keep in mind, he may not look the way he did in some of these pictures where he has a goatee. They removed the goatee and some of his facial hair to show what he might look like now. But you have to imagine anywhere he shows his face in this state, and there's bolos all across the region and nationally, people are going to recognize him or either of those vehicles. So to me right now, I'm kind of at a loss. My belief is that it's just clearly a matter of time.
Thank you, GG.
He's caught. I mean, of course, that's obvious, but I mean, I'm talking, I think it's a matter of maybe by tomorrow morning. He could.
That's what I thought too.
But if he just disappears, I'm not going to be convinced that he's not dead somewhere. So that about covers kind of what I know. There still are so many questions. A lot of people, if you're going to ask me about the family members and all of that, I don't know. I have not spoken to any of the family members. Some of my colleagues have, and obviously they're horribly upset. The infant is in a safe place. I do not know if it's been placed, this little girl has been placed back with, grandparents, or if it's being held maybe by Department of Children's Services right now while they try to, sort through this. They want to be very careful about the safety of that child, but the child is safe. So here we have an accused quadruple murderer who slaughters allegedly 4 people and then takes the baby and drops it off so it can be rescued. Just one of the more bizarre stories I have ever covered, and just heartbreaking. These people that were murdered are just...
That's what I'm saying. If he was in the Audi, who was driving the old truck? I mean, there's a possibility there's somebody else involved, or that he drove there with them and then he unalived them and took the truck and went and got his Audi. But where's the truck? The truck still hasn't been found. That's why, to me, it sounds like there may be 2 people involved, especially with 4 people being unalive. But it could just be him and he drove there with them, or maybe the younger uncle or the mom. One of them vehicles he may have been in. He may have been in the car that dropped the baby off, and he might have had them at gunpoint and made them drop the baby, and then he took and unalived them. We don't know, right? We don't know right now. It's possible that there is more than one person involved in this, and it would make sense because he had a driver, a getaway driver, and he took that truck and met up with whoever was in the Audi. So why take the truck if you have a car? It don't make much sense unless there's 2 people.
So young. So that's basically what I have. I thought I would take a look at some of your comments. So what I'm going to do is try to scroll back through these and then just go all the way through And, you can comment. I want to know what you think. If I can try to answer some of your questions, I will. If I can't, I'll be honest with you and tell you no. Nick, give us some good news. I wish I had some good news. This is a rough story. I'll continue doing updates with you. The FBI is going to get involved. Yes, they are. He could be out of state, but how? And with the bolos, let's be on the lookouts. I mean, every law enforcement agency in the South and probably this region and maybe nationwide has his photo. Okay. So, I mean, he can run, but he can't hide. I don't care if he's out of Tennessee. He's going to be caught.
He's going to be caught.
Let's see. Yeah, the FBI is involved. Some woman on TikTok commented that she saw a possible. Yes, I've heard that there was a sighting potentially. Keep in mind,
they're going to track his phone and it's going to lead right to his man purse. Okay. So he probably got his phone jammed right in his man purse right now. And they're going to catch him. I say within the week, they will have this man in custody. He ain't like your typical dude that can run into the mountains and survive off the land. He looks like a big old wussy city boy, and he's going to need help. And you got to remember that drug money right now, hug money, is he ain't smuggling nothing, so the money's been turned off. He's probably in Mexico. So many people say that, like it's just so easy to get into Mexico. That's a pretty good long ride to the Mexican border, not being seen by the police or, these tag readers catching you. That's what's going to get them. Believe it or not, they're probably running every stolen tag, because if he stole some tags and put them on a vehicle, they're probably looking for those stolen tags hitting on these readers. They've been installing these license plate readers everywhere. That it's just the way they've been catching people lately is with these license plate readers. Even Leilani Simon in Georgia was caught with a license plate reader. That's how they knew she was at the trailer park throwing Quentin Simon away. So you got to get past all these different red light cameras, traffic cameras, license plate readers. In the next 20 years, you won't be able to commit a crime. Everything will be like CCTV, like it is in other countries where there's a camera on every corner watching everything.
Right after these murders occurred, he doesn't know they're on to him. Who knows where he was hanging out? I heard a report unconfirmed that he was spotted at a coffee shop in Jackson. I don't know that to be true. I would imagine the TBI and others, if they've gotten these same reports, will try to go to these locations where there are alleged sightings and try to see if there's video of it. But I've heard that. And so, at some point, obviously now, if he's got a brain, he knows that he's been fingered and they suspect him of committing these crimes. Which, by the way, if he didn't do it, you'd think he'd come forward and say, hey, you got the wrong guy. He knows it, so now he's hiding. But as far as I know, and maybe the first 24 hours after these murders, before they announced him as a suspect, I think he may have been at a coffee shop in Jackson. But now they can't find him. Let's see, what else do we have? Now, people are watching from all around the country. Are they making sure the surviving family members are safe? I believe so. I don't know that there's law enforcement parked there, and I don't believe that other family members would be in danger. I guess I don't know that one way or the other, but again, we don't know what the motive was.
But you can believe the police are watching the family.
This wasn't random. There was a reason for it, but I don't know what it is. And there's no indication that the four deceased were involved in anything bad, but maybe he perceived it. Maybe he thought they knew what he was up to, because I can tell you, he was involved in stuff that was bad. Let's see, what else do we have here? A lot of people watching all around the country.
Oh, if he signs onto that Facebook page, they're going to catch him. You know what I'm saying? That Facebook and them social medias, they run all to the damn CIA, FBI. They got all kind of access to that. Do you go log on to your Facebook? It's going to give an IP address and a location of where you logged on from. So he goes logging onto his Facebook at any point just to check to see what people are saying. They'll know his location. And you can believe they're watching for a digital footprint. That's the quickest way to track somebody is through a digital footprint. They're checking all that. By now they know his Cash Apps, his Venmos, his PayPals, his social medias. And if anything of that is used, they're going to track it. It's going to ping. They're going to red flag it, and it's going to go right to the FBI. And he's in a situation where he's going to be caught. So within the next day or two, I guarantee you see me come live and say, Austin, Drummond, however the hell you say his last name, is caught and in custody, or he's not with us anymore because he knew he was going to prison for the rest of his life, and he's not going back. How much cash could he have on him? Right? That cash ain't gonna last forever.
Has anyone heard from the girlfriend? And as I mentioned, the DA said that he was dating. No, the member of the family that he was dating, which makes the connection to him, to the deceased, is not in prison. She is out, and I'm sure has been questioned at length. A lot of the, you can go on. I don't know if it's still on there, but you can go on and find his Facebook page and see the pictures. One of the things that's kind of disturbing about his Facebook page, if you've already looked at it, is he's got some photos posted from when he was
in prison. Yeah.
He's got video games. Looks like in one picture he's drinking a beer.
Ciroc.
You hear these reports that in some of these prisons, the gang members are running the show. I don't know. Those are out of context, but sure didn't look like he was living a hard life behind bars,
He had 3 cell phones. He had a Nintendo Switch. They had a bottle of Ciroc, right? He had more food than I got in my house. And, I don't know how many phones he can keep in his man purse, but he had 3 of them. Okay. Like, I don't know. He had a pizza. He had some chicken and biscuits. He had some enchiladas. Like, how is he getting all this street food because he's paying the guards off, right? The guards in that prison are crooked. He's in a prison where the guards are crooked. And it may be something like they saying that he's flying drones and dropping off hugs into the prison, and he's paying the deputies not to see it. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, when you're a prison deputy, you don't make much money. It's not even a good paying job. It's a shit job, right? Usually people that ain't got shit else, that couldn't work a construction job to save their life, out of shape, just old and tired ass people, are usually the COs. Or somebody that couldn't get a job at Mickey D's, they get a job at the penitentiary. Nobody wants to work those jobs. Think about this. Who wants to be in jail all day? Nobody. Jail is the most boringest place. It don't matter if you're on this side of the bars or that side of the bars. It sucks, right? I was in the city jail, and the deputy told me, he said, just remember, you getting out. I got to be here every day. I was like, damn, I almost felt bad for him because he was right. He's like, man, don't be doing no bitching. You getting out. I got to be here every day. I'm doing more time than you are. And if you think about it, he's right? Especially if you in city jail for a couple of weeks. He's like, dude, I'm here every day. 12, because they do 12 hours on, 12 hours off. So they're there for 12 hours a day. He's half his day every day. He's in jail. It sucks for him just as bad as it sucks for you. You're both there. You know what I'm saying? And technically he's right. He's there more than you and been there longer than you. So like, that's a sucky job.
When I saw some of the pictures on Facebook, go check out his Facebook page. Unless it's been taken down, I've looked at it, and the pictures there, they're disturbing. There's one picture where he's here, and he's got a python around his neck, and he's smiling. Wouldn't it be nice if that thing just suddenly got tight?
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. Too bad the snake didn't get him, right? Like it was an Anaconda Ice Cube movie, right? Like, I said the same thing Nick Barris said. Zach, he almost sounds like he's repeating me. Like, did he watch me before he did this?
Let's see. Is the 15-year-old brother the baby's mom? Brother of the baby's mom? No, I believe the 15-year-old brother who was killed is the brother of the baby's father. Same last name. Brother of the baby's father. So as I look back just to confirm that, the 15-year-old was Braden Williams. He was the uncle. And the father was 21-year-old Matthew Wilson. Okay, Wilson Williams. I take that back. I correct myself. I'm sorry. You're right. I believe he was the mother's brother. The mother's brother.
Nick Barris looks like he's wearing a life vest. What boat did you fall off of, McFly? Right? This is Nick McFly. What boat did you fall off of? Why are you wearing a life vest?
You're right. I was confusing Williams and Wilson. But Braden Williams, Adriana Williams, yeah, that would be the mother who was also killed. The mother and her brother were both killed. And he was the 15-year-old. You're correct. Sorry about that.
The ship is going down, Nick. The ship is going down. Are you prepared? Oh, yeah, you are. You already got your life jacket on.
That. A lot of people asking about how people get out on bond. You know, I mean, the bond is a good thing for when you make a choice, and under the law, you're entitled to bond. It's how much the bond is. And I don't know. I haven't seen how much his bond was.
30,000.
But clearly, he should not have been out.
No.
I don't know that anyone saw this. I mean, or knew that he was capable of this type of thing. I don't know. Yeah, he had just recently been released. So, and he was released and he was on bond. He should have still potentially been behind bars.
Yeah.
What about rumors of them being dismembered? I have not heard any details other than that they were deceased. There are rumors out there.
I heard rumors of off with the head, right? But, you know, them are just rumors. But depending on the type of weapon he has, you know, which we don't know, it could off your head if it's big enough. But most likely that ain't the case. But I have heard rumors of that.
Attributed to some of the family members, which have been unconfirmed, but and a lot of them are out there. And I don't know that any of it's true, that it was a very, very ugly crime scene, whatever that means. I've not heard that they were dismembered. I have not heard. We don't even know exactly how they were killed, though I'm of the belief they were shot.
I am too.
Because I don't know, was there something else that happened to them before they were shot? But I mean, he's charged with being a felon in possession of a gun. If he had a gun, I assume he used it. Let's see. Yeah. So people are saying he's the ex-boyfriend, or I don't know if he was ex-boyfriend or not.
He's in straight workout
sister help in this, since she was dating him, is what people are saying. I guess if you're saying it's the sister that he was dating, no, there's no evidence of that, and I don't know that the sister is involved in any way. I'm sure she's probably horrified from this, but I guarantee you, whatever the family member is that had a relationship with Drummond is, trust me, being vetted and talked to at length by investigators. And if they believe there's any indication that person's at all involved, they will be immediately arrested. Do I think he's still in Tennessee? Yep. I don't think he's very far. I think someone's helping him.
I don't think so. I think he fled. He knew that everything in its power was coming down on him. He knew. There's no way. I mean, he could be that dumb and he could have gangs hiding him out, but in that rural area, he's not in. I believe he's fled Tennessee.
And I think he's still somewhere out there in West Tennessee. For those of you who are watching that don't live in the state, Lake County, where the bodies were found, is as far, in the farthest west-eastern.
Dolly, you ain't out in the field anymore like you used to be. That's why you gained so much weight. LOL, just kidding. Well, there's medications that I take. I had to get better before I could do, and I'm eating, okay? So, and I ain't gained so much weight. You make it out to be like I'm 300 pounds. I'm probably 180, maybe 190. I am getting a little chunky. But thank you for reminding me. All right.
Northwestern corner of the state. I mean, it's the last county right up there in the very corner of Tennessee. Right below it is Dyer County. So he could easily cross over into another state, but at this point, I believe he's still here.
Thank you.
I
Thank
really
you,
do.
guys.
But then that does raise the question too. Was this crime, and the way he acted, if we ever learn the motive, was it an act of passion, anger at that moment? Or was this something that was planned and calculated? And if it was planned and calculated, you would have thought he would have had a plan to get away, right? Or maybe he's an idiot and he just did this and he's down getting coffee in Jackson and then realizes all of a sudden they know it's him, and now who knows where he is. Let's see what else we got. people, how did he get them all in the woods? That's the big question. How did he get them all in the woods at the same time with 2 to 3 different cars? And again, the only answer I can get to that question is that he did not take them there forcefully, that he lured them there. There was some reason that he wanted them to meet him in the woods there. I don't know what that might be.
Austin Drummond.
I believe they went
on the
willingly
run
to that location because there's no way he could have forced all of them with a baby in tow to show up. I think he said something to get them there. And then when they showed up, he surprised them and they didn't have time to protect themselves and they killed him. That's my take. Because there's no way he could have brought them all there with all those vehicles. I mean, forcefully, you would have driven away. There's no way. That's not possible. Now, it's possible maybe if there's more than just him and there were.
I mean, that soap commercial is only like 1.5 years old where I'm a lot skinnier. I have gained some weight over the last 1.5 years. But my weight has always fluctuated. Like I'll get kind of chunky and then I'll get skinny. Then I'll get chunky. It depends how active I am. And I haven't been as active this year because, I was in the hospital and I had to take it easy for a while. So I'm not, like super going hard. I've been, trying to chill. And I have put on some pounds, but, I lose weight really fast, just as fast as I gain it too. So my weight has always fluctuated. Like I go through this phases of where there's chunky Dolly, there's skinny Dolly, you know what I'm saying? So it's always been like that. Even if you look at pictures of me when I was a kid, there's pictures of me when I was chubby. There's pictures of me crackhead skinny, you know what I'm saying? And not that I've ever done any drugs. It's just my weight has always fluctuated. It depends on what I'm doing, what I'm eating, how I'm living. It's that type of thing. I'm always been skinny, fast metabolism. Yeah, and I'm slowing down a lot. I am getting older, but I've been trying to stay a little more active here lately than I had been because I had been just kind of laid up trying to heal my body for the last at least 6 months after that happened. I was just taking it easy. And I think what's putting the weight on me is the soda. If I stop drinking soda, I'll be as skinny as a rail. So it's the soda that's putting weight on me. It's all the sugar. And I'm going to slowly try to cut that out, right after I drink this Pepsi and the other 12 pack I got in there. But I got to cut the sugar out and I'll lose a lot of weight. I don't eat a lot. I usually only eat once a day. Like I ate a sub today. That was it. I don't eat a ton, but I drink a lot of soda. So, but I am going to try to cut the soda out. It ain't got that. See, I'm fine whatever size I am. I don't really care. Like I'm not, don't worry if I'm chubby or skinny. It don't really matter to me. I'm going to cut it out because it's probably better for my health to cut out the sodas. And I don't really care what people think. So to me, it don't matter if somebody thinks I'm skinny or if they think I'm fat. I'm more worried about meat and, and it don't really bother me. My life don't change either way.
2 or 3 others helping him, and there was a bad guy in each of the cars with them, forcing him at gunpoint. I guess that could happen. But we have not heard law enforcement say anything right now about any other suspects involved. He's the only one. Let's see, what else do we have?
Every now and then I'll eat twice a day. Like I'll have a bowl of cereal in the morning, and then I'll eat dinner. I usually don't do lunch. Right. I usually don't do lunch at all. I eat early in the morning, like some breakfast, probably a big ass bowl of cereal. And then at night I'll eat something heavy and then that's it. But it's the soda that's putting the weight on me. So.
Yeah, the pictures that you've seen are just heartbreaking, especially that young
Thank
couple
you, Ruby
and the
Choi.
baby. I mean, oh my gosh. A lot of people saying you never should have been out on bond. That's right.
Okay, so he's just going over questions, and let's just pray to God that they find this guy. Now let's jump into the second story of the night. And I kind of went on with that quadruple murder for a little long, so I can't stay here but a good, maybe 30 more minutes or so. Jack and Lilly Sullivan What a crazy story this is. Two kids. If you're tuning in and you don't know about Jack and Lilly Sullivan, I'll give a little breakdown because we got new people watching because of the Quadruple unalive there in Tennessee. Jack and Lilly Sullivan is a 4 and 6 year old child that went missing in Pictou County, Nova Scotia in Canada. They were home alone with their mom and stepfather. We'll say stepfather. It ain't a stepfather. It's the mom's boyfriend. They were home alone. The mom and the stepdad were in bed. They say they were sleeping off and on. And when they woke up, the kids were gone. They had slid out a back door, sliding back door in the mobile home that they lived in that looked like a damn math lab. Okay. 2 + 2 lab. And the mother lived right behind them. So it would be the step grandmother. And they were in a fenced in yard and they just vanished without a trace. RCMP, they go out there, they search the woods roughly around 8 miles around the home and find nothing. No signs of the kids in the woods. They don't put out an Amber Alert because they don't believe there's been an abduction. So the kids are not in the woods. The kids have not been abducted. Where could these kids have went? Now, since this story has came out in the last 3 months, we've heard a lot of inconsistent statements from the alleged stepfather. You know, he tells the police one thing, he tells the media a different thing, and it's just the inconsistencies that he was out running helicopters and he did so much to search and he'll search forever, but yet he's out here trying to find him a new girlfriend. Now, the mother, day one, took off, right? She takes off. She goes to stay with her mama, just leaves the kids behind, never goes out and searches for the kids, only gives one news interview, never pleads for the safe return of her kids. And in the last few days, she has come out sending messages to another YouTuber, basically concerned about a GoFundMe that was raising money to spread awareness for the kids. And if it wasn't for that GoFundMe, would Malaya Brooks had ever talked? Would she have said anything? You know, it is alleged that she wanted half the money from that GoFundMe put in her friend's name. So she was concerned about the money, but never, ever concerned about the kids. Now, there's huge red flags in this case with the mother not looking, the mother not concerned, the mother only giving one interview, the stepdad constantly giving inconsistent statements. There was a blanket found about a mile down the road next to an ATV trail. Does this blanket have anything to do with it? One thing that really stood out to me is when Daniel said that he was out searching for Jack and Lilly and that Malaya went in the house and took 2 sweaters. Now, allegedly, it's 2 shirts. But I asked him in the chat and he said they were physical sweaters. And he believed if the babies were found, that these sweaters would be there and they were planted to make him look like he done it. But he also said he believed these babies were alive. And then he came out and said that Malaya had handed these babies off to somebody in a car and the mother had seen, you know, had came out right after she done it, but didn't see the vehicle. Then the mother comes out and does an interview and says that she never says that. She says that Malaya was standing out in front of her trailer on her phone where she was going to put a pool that never ended up being put up. And also the mother was seen the night before, not the mother, but the grandmother, step grandmother, with a shovel, or allegedly she says it was a rake. And she, in the middle of the night, she's out there raking or shoveling in the driveway. But what I believe it is somebody rode by and seen her with a shovel. And I believe these kids may have went missing the day before all this happened. And they're coming up with all these different kind of crazy excuses. And when the grandmother, step grandmother, gave the interview, Janie, she seemed super mad, angry. Because, you know, people are speculating that Daniel, her son, has something to do with the disappearance of these kids. Which, listen, there was 4 people that we can say may have been at that house, that trailer that night, and that would have been Daniel, Malaya, Janie, and Justin, Daniel's brother. One of these 4 people know what happened to these kids. And there's just huge red flags in it. You know, behavior to me is the biggest clue in this, right? Because normal people, the parents of missing kids, usually don't act like this. Both of them ran off and tried to instantly find a new relationship. Daniel allegedly has a new girl that he's been talking to and, you know, smooching up to, and quick to fall in love, right, with a new person. And Malaya, as soon as she left, she went and put single, ready to mingle on her Facebook. And since then, she's been going out to the beach, according to her family, every day, living her best life. They think she needs to move on with her life and not be sad. Malaya says she believes the kids are alive, but yet she's not looking for these children. This is insane. It's just as insane as what's going on in Tennessee, but this is going on in Nova Scotia. In no arrests, the RCMP has completely dropped the ball on Jack and Lilly. They have pretty much failed these kids at this point. 3 months, and these people are still walking the street when the police know there was reports of abuse, and that even Malaya is alleging that Daniel was abusing Jack. Lilly had a black eye. They didn't send them to school, didn't check on them that morning. Allegedly, the kids are supposed to have been sick, but the day before, they're out on the town. It makes absolutely no sense. Anybody that's been into true crime long as most of us have been into true crime, we see these red flags. And the RCMP got to see these, but apparently they're just walking right past the red flags. They don't care if they're blowing in the wind at 100 miles an hour. It blows my mind that, you know, the whole interview process of Daniel took 4 hours. Here in the States, we'll set you in a room for 4 hours before we even talk to you. And then we'll talk to you for 50 hours and not let you sleep until you get tired and go, okay, I did it. You know, the whole interrogation process of this man was 4 hours. And he takes a lie detector test. The only person that's saying he passed is him. And I'm not really too confident in these lie detector tests. To me, they're all BS and don't really mean anything. That's why they can't be used in court. They told Belinda they have no suspect. Shake my head. Yes, you know, and the biological grandmother, Belinda Gray, is in contact with the RCMP. And if they did have a suspect, would they really tell her? Okay. I don't know. There's no way. Listen, the whole internet believes they have something to do with it. All of us. The RCMP has to believe it. It's just they don't have any proof and they don't have any way to prove it. So if they did do this and neither one of them ever tell on each other, they're not going to do anything. And to me, social services were called in December, allegedly, and nothing's been done. These people knew these kids were being abused. It's alleged that the school was reporting abuse. That's how come the CPS has been involved. And you got Lilly with black eyes and it comes up missing. They're blaming it on Jack, that the little kid, Lily fell and Lily blacked Jack's eyes. So they're blaming the kids. And the kids are the victims, right? So they're kind of just basically victim blaming. And from day one, they try to take the blame off themselves. Oh, we're these great parents. We're hover parents. And now we're finding out that they're accusing each other of doing illegal substances, that Daniel was manufacturing illegal substances, selling illegal substances, doing illegal substance, even all the way to like when Meadow was born, the daughter. Now the daughter's in CPS custody. 2 kids are gone. Malaya has no responsibility, so she's out living her best life. Daniel done gave up on, so we ain't heard nothing about him searching one time for these children. And there's no answers. Are we ever going to get answers for Jack and Lilly? And I wanted to go over more of this tonight of the Jack and Lilly case, But I'm kind of running out of time here. I wanted to kick back and watch a little bit of TV before I call tonight because I got up really early this morning to bring you the breaking news when they named the suspect. So I will go over some more of this Jack and Lilly stuff tomorrow. And it just blows my mind that these people ain't in jail. And for all my people in Canada watching, you need to put the pressure on the RCMP, because if you don't do it, they're not going to give you answers for this. You're going to have to demand answers. And, you know, if this was in the States, I'd be outside the jail protesting outside the police station. So if you guys in Canada, y'all might need to start putting the pressure on the police there in Canada and demanding answers, because I believe they're slacking. They waited 3 weeks to get the trail cameras. NASA SpaceX Crew 11 spaceship launch is scheduled for Friday, August 1st, 2025 at 11:43 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, y'all want me to cover the launch in the morning? I like spaceships. Okay. Thanks, Dolly and PJ and mods. So listen, guys, that's what I suggest. People in Tennessee, be on the lookout for Austin, Drummond, and guys in Nova Scotia that's watching tonight. Put some pressure on the RCMP. That's the only thing we got left now. If I just like, I know Canada's saying, well, RCMP always gets their man. Well, this might be a woman. Do they always get their woman? But we got to keep the pressure on them. And a lot of YouTubers have already stopped talking about Jack and Lilly. They moved on quickly, and that ain't good. Sebastian Rogers, people talked about him for 2 straight years every day, and we're talking hundreds of YouTubers. Jack and Lilly, you got me, you got the Canadian girls, and you got a dude that plays with his monkey that don't give a shit about kids. That's it. Okay, so we need you guys in Canada to put this pressure on the police. We gotta stand strong and stand together on this. There ain't many of us left. And to get justice for these babies, I can't do it alone. All right. And I can't be in Canada. So somebody, I know I tell y'all don't be Dolly at home, but somebody needs to be Dolly in Canada. Okay. We need some Dollies in Canada raising some hell for these kids if we're ever going to get justice. All right. That's what I believe. You guys have a great night. Tell me what you think about all this in the comments. Are they going to catch this dude? Is he going back to prison, or is he going to go out with a bang? You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments after this video ends. And at this point, what can we do for Jack and Lilly to bring awareness and to put pressure on the RCMP? You guys let me know what you think needs to be done in the comments down below after I end this video. And if you haven't, make sure you like it, share it on your Facebooks. And if you out there watching and you ain't subbed up, sub up the channel, guys. Help me hit that 100,000. I want to get the little plaque for my wall. And I will thank you guys every day when we get to that mark. All right. You guys be good. Stay safe. And remember, if nobody else does, Dolly loves you. And check out the merch store, buydollysoap.com. We got great soaps, t-shirts, lotions, all kinds of stuff. www.buydollysoap.com is our merch store. And I will see you guys in the morning. Peace.